Hey, I'm Zainab Johnson, and you guys are watching Comedy Matters. Shout out to Sirius XM. I was thinking about you, like I always have my midriff.
Can't scare me.
Because I read you.
Yeah, but don't stop trying. Hey, it's Jeffrey Gurian here for Sirius XM and Comedy Matters TV, and I'm in the lobby of the Hyatt Hotel at the Just for Laughs Festival with my girl Zainab Johnson. What's up, baby? How you doing?
Hey, I am good.
You look amazing. Look at you.
Thank you so
Intense.
much.
I can hardly breathe. The girl, she has to travel with paramedics, basically, to revive
to
people.
revive everybody that gets knocked out by my stunning abilities.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell me, I enjoyed you so much on Last Comic Standing.
Thank you.
What has that done for you? And what was that experience like?
Oh my God! Last Comic Standing was wonderful. It was a positive experience, but it was a bit overwhelming and nerve-wracking. It's not you're doing stand-up, but there's so many other pressures that don't happen in a comedy club. But it's given me so much exposure. Everywhere I go, people know who I am. Even when I'm flipping in the Target, I need to see a manager. The manager comes out. The manager is a fan. So it's weird. I got to stay on my best behavior because I'm recognizable, and I think because I have a shaved head too, people notice me maybe a little bit more. But it's been good. It's been good. My bookings have upped. That was the point, right?
When did you start shaving your head? I'm fascinated because I'm into a hair thing.
You are.
I'm tripping on your hair. It's like you look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Very few women could pull it off. You have to have the right bone structure.
I need a haircut right now.
Serious? You want it shorter than that?
I want it shorter than this. Yes.
Well, when did you start doing that?
5 years ago.
And how did you feel the first time? Was your hair long before?
My hair was very long. If my phone was here, I'll pull out a picture. My hair was long.
A girl with no phone? I never heard of such a thing. What do you mean if your phone was here? Where is your phone?
It's here in that bag, but it's dead. So okay.
There's no such thing as a girl with no phone.
No, it's dead.
I never heard of such a thing. Okay.
It's dead. I did it 5 years ago, and I say it on stage. I literally just didn't feel like doing my hair. That's just what it was, and I started from the front, so it was no turning back. It was either, keep going or have a mullet.
Just have a weird.
Yeah, and I wasn't really into the mullet look. So, and I've just been doing it. I get it cut every week. I love it. It's easy. This is like the get ready quick hair,
It's amazing to me. I mean, first of all, it takes a lot of courage to make any change at all.
Yes.
People are very weird about making a change in themselves. Mm-hmm. So I love the fact when someone just takes that step. I mean, that's incredible. And it just happens to look so good on you.
Thank you.
But you didn't know it was going to look good before you did it. You took a shot.
Yeah, I took a shot. I could have, people always say, oh, I can't do that. I have a lump in my head. And the crazy thing is, I didn't check. I wasn't like, let me make sure this is going to work.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know if I had a dent in my head. I didn't know really what my face did, now I pay more attention to my face because there's no hair, but before I never even thought about it. I just chopped it, and I thought, well, if it looks bad, it'll grow back,
But you know what's having an identity is very important. Every girl's got long hair.
Yeah.
So it really makes you stand out in a good way.
Yeah.
It's like in comedy, you need a comedy persona to find your identity on stage. When I teach comedy, I always tell people that's one of the things you need is to find who you are on stage, right?
Yeah.
Now, what'd you do before you did comedy?
I moved to LA. I'm from New York originally.
Oh, yeah?
I moved to LA to act. Before that, I was in college. I got a degree in math. I know, right?
Serious? Math?
I got a degree
I would
in
have said
math.
it's so funny. I've been telling that joke for years. I want to find a girl who's good in math.
I'm good at math.
Did you bring your slide rule?
I didn't. But I'm good at math, and I think I used to want to teach it. I used to want to teach high school.
You
math.
hear that, people? A beautiful woman who's good at math. That's crazy.
Good at math, but does not manage money well.
Wow.
So.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I started doing comedy.
Where'd you start?
LA.
Oh, so you didn't start till you moved to LA?
Yeah, I started it'll be 4 years in August.
Where'd you start going up?
I started I started going up I did my first showcase. I did a showcase at the Comedy Union. I'm not sure. Do you know where you never heard of the Comedy Union? Okay. And then regularly I started hosting a show with Chris Spencer. I would be the opening act for his show at the Comedy Store every week. And then
You
that's
know
just
Tommy Morris, of course.
Yes. Tommy books the original room.
Yeah, shout out to Tommy.
Shout out to Tommy
Morris. Okay.
Book me more, Tommy. And I do the improv. I do the Laugh Factory, sometimes Flappers. But I didn't like when I did comedy the first day. I never thought before that I would do comedy. I was never like, ooh, one day I'm gonna get up there and do it. No.
Really?
The day that I did it, that was my first thought. That was the first time I ever thought, I think I'm gonna try comedy. And
How often do you write?
How often do I plan to sit down and write?
Yeah, like what's your process for creating? You write all the time? You carry a pad with you, a recorder?
I carry a pad with me. I carry, my iPhone always has the memo apps. I have probably like 500 memos because a lot of times in LA I'm driving and I'll have all the thoughts when I'm driving and I can't write it down, so I just talk it into my memos, and then I listen back to them. I probably sit down and write a couple of times a week, maybe like 3 or 4 times a week, but things come to me, the best things come to me like spontaneously, like in the moment, like when I'm not trying. They're just
there,
they're like organic thoughts, and I do my best. I still go to open mics, or I go to shows that I can treat as open mics, and I just talk. Like I think about what I want to talk about, and then I find it.
So you develop it right on stage.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to write it out before and memorize it.
Yeah.
You just do it there. That's crazy.
Yeah, I do it
That's
there.
amazing.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna like go on and showcase like a Tonight Show, set. Like, I'm gonna just find my way. No, but my material comes from me finding it, and then I'll listen to it, and then I'll write from what I've. Okay, that sounds okay. Let's delve into that.
You record all your sets and then play them back after, see what worked, and then That's great.
Yeah. Which is hard because I had to get used to listening to my voice.
That's hard, right?
It's really hard.
Like, I don't even like to replay my interviews sometimes. It's like, it's hard for me to do it, to sit through it.
Yeah.
I like them, but there's just something about it. It's weird sometimes.
You think you sound one way and you sound another way.
And then you think too, I would have said this, I could have said that, and you second guess yourself, and it's like,
I did an interview recently, and we did it over the phone, but he kind of like transcribed the interview, and when I read it, he was like, what do you feel? I was like, I feel like I speak very grammatically incorrect, but thank you. Other than that, it's great, but I got some English to learn.
No, but it's hard because when you're having a conversation, people they digress. They have a different thought while they're talking. Something makes them think of something else. I transcribed. I did a book that Chris Rock wrote the intro for last year called "Make 'Em Laugh" about the history of the comic strip, and I had to transcribe every interview. I had like 50 interviews with Seinfeld, Billy Crystal, Ray Romano, everybody. And it was so hard to do because people change in the middle of a sentence. They go off on a tangent, something else, and then you got to fill in the words.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that when they speak that they do that. I think it's human nature almost that people do that.
And you can't really like correct it because you want to keep like the essence of their personality and that answer in it. So you just.
Well, you do the best you can. As a comedy writer, I can do that because I'm trained to think the way that a person thinks. Like if I'm writing for you, I got to think the way you think.
Yeah.
So I was able to fill in spots in the book where I needed to, but it's a difficult process. That's why I couldn't have anybody transcribe it for me. I had to do it myself. But it's weird when you hear yourself.
Yeah, it is very weird.
So what's coming up for Zainab Johnson?
Zainab Johnson is on the road a lot right now with Jimmy Schubert. Zainab... I'm like
Did you know him
Johnson.
before Last Comic Standing?
I didn't. We met on Last Comic Standing, and we vibe with one another. We're very different in terms of, well, number one, age, obviously, and aesthetic also. But I think we have kind of like a real like natural charisma and like East Coast-ish to us that we vibe with. I'm working on my own show. It's in the very beginning stages of it, but the good thing about getting that major exposure and being a comic that writes for yourself, people really want to explore your voice and your stories, and so I'm doing that now.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm always on Twitter.
Are you planning to come to New York anytime soon?
I'm coming to New York on after here. When I leave here, I'll be in New York from July 28th. until the very end of August.
Oh, nice. Okay, so
Yeah.
then I'm going to bring you on with me
Yeah,
on
please bring me
Sirius
on.
with Ron and Fez. That'll be great.
Yes, please bring me on. I'll be doing a lot of shows. I think I may even be, fingers crossed, at the Cellar,
Nice.
which is
That's major,
yeah,
major,
we'll
major,
see.
big
We'll
time.
see. Yeah, I'm hoping I'm not jinxing myself, but that's what I heard is
cool.
happening.
Just stay between you and me.
Yeah, and everybody watch.
Exactly.
But I'm optimistic. I'm enjoying the journey. Look, I'm sitting on the couch with you.
Hey,
I feel like I made it.
it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Wonderful to see you,
Oh.
baby. You're so amazing.